Everyone, welcome to the channel. My name's Ben. I'm a meditation and spiritual teacher. If you've been on my channel before, you'll know all about me and my background and things like that. But if you're new to my channel, you might not know that I've been meditating for a very long time. And I'm just an average 31-year-old guy, British guy, obviously. And I think that it would be so valuable for potentially some of you out there who want to take to a spiritual path, who have some kind of belief that there's more to life, but you don't know where to go with that desire. And I'm hoping that as another normal, I say normal guy, I just mean someone that doesn't necessarily dress like a typical spiritual person, who doesn't necessarily have friends who are all spiritual, who has a job alongside the teaching that I do. I think they will all help me to kind of share my message to you, because perhaps you're, an ordinary, what you'd consider an ordinary American guy or girl, an ordinary Canadian or Australian or British guy or girl, or from somewhere else. And you're thinking, well, I've kind of got this desire that there's more. I believe in some kind of higher power. Maybe you don't want to call it God. Maybe you already do. Maybe you call it something else, the universe, the source, whatever. But you're like, I don't really know where to take this, because perhaps you don't really resonate with religions. You don't want to go down the route of becoming a Christian or a Muslim or whatever. And you're looking for more direction, and perhaps this video will be really useful to you, because I'm someone who has found a path that isn't aligned to any of those different religions. And it doesn't mean that I don't respect them. It just means I've taken a more universal approach. And I've really, I guess I'm proud to say, and I'm happy to say, I'm grateful to say, that I've created an amazing life where I've balanced these two sides of myself, my spiritual life and my ordinary worldly life, for want of a better way of putting it. And I managed to maintain relationships with friends who aren't spiritual. My girlfriend, who I've been with for nearly, 3.5 years now, who is not spiritual. But alongside that, I meditate every day for about an hour. I teach people all around the world how to meditate. I've got almost 200 students in my online school, which is called the Inner Journey School. I'll put a link in the description if you want to check that out. I have a deep connection with the divine. I intuit information sometimes, many times from the divine, many times for videos like this. And as many of you also know, I've got a divine master, a hidden teacher who has taught me since I was about 6 years old. My dad was also a meditation teacher, which started this journey off. So I've been very fortunate. I'm not saying that I've found this path through my own hard work and searching. I've been very fortunate that I kind of was, in a way, born into this life. But because of my fortune, I want to help you who may have not been so lucky to find your feet with this, and to show you that you can live what we would consider a totally normal, standard life, or not standard, but kind of normal in terms of you don't align with people who dress in what you'd consider spiritual clothing, or who have gone to live in some sort of ashram in India. If you want to just have a normal life and have a partner and maybe have kids and go and watch football at the weekend with your friends, or go and watch Formula One, or play golf, or whatever your hobby is, I want you to know that you can do that and have a very spiritual life, and it can work perfectly, because I'm doing it, and I have done it for several years. That's not to say that your friend group will likely change. I think you become more, what's the word? You don't align with your friends as much. I've found that I just naturally wasn't as interested in spending time with people that I used to be interested in spending time with. For whatever reason, as I changed, I guess our vibration was not aligned anymore, and it just didn't feel as natural. I didn't feel like the same person as I was, so I didn't quite fit in as much. But it was a natural shift. It wasn't like it wasn't really it was kind of uncomfortable, I suppose. It's not always easy breezy, but it happened in a more steady way, and I was kind of ready to find people who did align with me more. Having said that, I've got lots of friends who I absolutely love, and they have no interest in spirituality or meditation. That's fine. They don't need to. And I always bring it back to, similar with my girlfriend. She has no interest in meditation or spirituality, but the one thing that she does have, which I'm very grateful for, is she's very, very accepting. So she doesn't sort of bat an eyelid if I say I'm going to meditate for half an hour. I tend to do it in the morning, so it's not interfering with our lives. But if for whatever reason I couldn't do a morning session, I was like, right, I'm going to go meditate now. She's always fine with that. It's like, oh yeah, great. And then she'll ask me after, how did it go? It's hard for me to explain because I know it won't make any sense, but that's not the point. It's the intent that she's got, that she's accepting the interest that I have. But likewise, if she had an interest in horses and I didn't care about horses, I tried to keep it as basic as that, in that you don't need to shift every single thing in your life to align with your spiritual life. You can bring the two together. And people, I think, overcomplicate it, and they think, right, I'm spiritual now, right? I need to dress in a spiritual way. My house needs spiritual paraphernalia all around. I need to wear a necklace. I need to wear rosary beads. I need to, have friends that are only interested in this. For some people that may work. I don't necessarily think it's healthy. For some people that may be perfect. For me, at least, it wasn't the route, and it's not the route that I've taken. But I am deeply spiritual, and everything that I do in my life, I'm very much looking through it from a spiritual lens. And when I'm not in situations like a conversation with a friend or whatever, where it's very difficult to be engaged in spirituality, when I'm driving somewhere, or when I'm walking to the beach where I live, or when I am brushing my teeth, when I'm doing mundane tasks, when I'm on my own and I'm not needing to think about something deeply, I'm engaged in repeating a mantra. I'm praying to the divine. I'm communicating with the divine. My life has become this walk with God. It sounds really weird, but I've more and more and more over the years found the percentage of my mind that is concentrated on God is greatly increased. So when I first got into all of this, it might have been that for the first, I don't know, I do my half an hour meditation, but then I wouldn't think about any of this until the morning again when I did my meditation, and then I wouldn't think about it again until the next day. But over the years, the amount of time that I've spent contemplating the divine, repeating mantras, praying, talking in my head has increased. And it's almost like the same degree to which that has increased, the closer I have felt to God, the closer I have felt to the divine. And it's very much echoed in many teachings that other divine teachers have talked about before. I think Sai Baba once said that you take one step towards me, I take 100 towards you. And I really feel like that's been my experience with spiritual work and getting closer to the source. But I do think you have to find a balance. I think that is really, really key. And I think if you've not yet got a teacher and you've not yet got a path that you're following, then I think finding that is helpful. Doesn't matter if it may be that you want to go down the route of Christianity, maybe that you want to go down one of the religious routes. That is also fine. I'm definitely not saying that you shouldn't do that by any means, but I do think finding a path for your inner calling is really, really powerful, and you'll find that it satisfies a lot of what you're looking for. If you're watching a video like this, you're a seeker. Whether you identify as that or not, you're a spiritual seeker. And following a path of some description is probably what you're now needing to do. Follow some more, have some direction to your pursuit, to your searching. And if you're not following one of those teachings, then much of what I talk about within, well, my channel, I mean, you're more than welcome to use this channel as a source of guidance. There's obviously lots of other YouTube channels that you can also use, but the difficulty with that is that all the teachings are so spread out. So it's very difficult to sift through it all and find what resonates and actually have a more unified path and unified teachings, which is, again, another reason why. And I don't want, obviously I'm making you aware of it because I'd love to have you with me, but I'm not saying you have to join my school. But I do have an online school, and the beauty of that is that I teach in a unified, universal way. The teachings are there, and you can follow that, and it's quite straightforward then. So that's been, for many people that have joined, really, really helpful. But I think for me, the path continues to unfold, of course, and I'm learning more all the time. But I think the biggest thing for me has been finding that balance between ordinary life and spiritual life, towing that line between the two of them, which has taken a long time for me to find the right balance. I've either been 2 feet in one side or 2 feet in the other, but now I feel like I've got 1 foot in either, and it's really, really moving me forward at a good rate. And I've spoken about many of the experiences I've had in meditation and things like that on the channel many, many times, so I'm not going to explain that again for people who are familiar with my channel. But ultimately, this video is really about if you're what you consider an average person who wants to find some direction and who wants to live a more spiritual life, but you don't know where to go, or you don't know whether it's possible without following a religion. I want you to know that it is possible. I'm doing it, and if I'm doing it, you can do it. If I'm doing it, anyone can do it. There's no limits on that, and it truly makes your life amazing. I've got many flaws. There's many things that I'm working on. I'm by no means perfect, even after all of the years of practice. I've got lots to work on, but I have got to a state of mind where I'm very, very rarely out of center, in terms of I'm not dictated and dominated by emotions. Very much, for most of the time, I'm in this state of equanimity where I'm not ruffled by external factors. My life is very peaceful. I'm very happy. I never get depressed. I know it sounds extreme, but I don't get sad or depressed. Those things just don't, or at least haven't yet, come into my life and dominated me. So I want you to know that that's possible for you. And I hope this video is, going to share that message and show you that that's possible. That's all that I really want for you. I think that's all I want to share with you today. If you do have any questions or comments, please do let me know in the comments section. And if you do want to join the school by all means. But there are many teachings online that you can get for free. So there's all sorts of resources for you if you're a seeker at the moment. But I wish you all the best, and hopefully I'll see you on the next video. Thanks a lot.